We might have some clarity for you folks, Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, I've just had it confirmed to me, Richard, that the games on Boxing Day will go ahead as planned. After that, the winter break for Premiership clubs will come into effect.
Right, so just to confirm then, the matches due to take place on Boxing Day, folks, will take place in front of crowds of no more than 500.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you well?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Can I start by asking you about the winter break? It's obviously been moved forward to start on Monday. Is that something you're pleased about?
Yeah, I think it's a common sense decision to bring it forward. We're a little bit disappointed that we're playing Sunday. I think we've seen, certainly in my time, seen the contrast between no supporters and a full Fir Park, and there's a massive difference for us. I thought bringing the break forward was the only decision to make, to be honest. There was no point with this new variant in just ploughing through for the sake of another 2 or 3 games. I think the opportunity was there. I think the will was there from most of the clubs. So I think it was the right decision.
I've never played at Fir Park with no fans. I know there'll still be 500 there, but it'll be strange. Obviously, we didn't want to play the game without fans being there, so we're disappointed.
For you especially, being so long out, I mean, you must be thinking, give me a break here. Just finally getting back in and then they shut out the fans for you coming back.
Yeah, I know. I think it's harder for the players to motivate yourself, get yourself. I don't know. I think it's difficult to get yourself going properly without the noise there from the fans. So as I said, it will be strange, and obviously something that we're not happy with. But hopefully get them back in as soon as possible.
The final fixture of 2021. Just 500 fans in attendance today. The winter break has been moved forward, and for good reason, because this is not how football should be played.
Thought it was a fantastic performance, a great 3 points against a rival that's been in good form as well.
Out swinger. It's all the way through, and McGinley was clearly fouled on the edge of the Livy box. Van Veen lines this one up. Kevin Van Veen, oh yes! He is a special player, capable of moments like that. Max Striek had no chance. There's absolutely no stopping that.
A special performance from Kev. As everybody knows, Kev is capable of his match-defining moments, and then he took his second goal great.
Huge balls towards Van Veen. His flicked header is beyond Striek. And it's another moment to remember. 7 goals in the league for Kevin Van Veen. It's a touch on the edge, rolls it for Penrice. His delivery in is turned beyond Liam Kelly by Bruce Anderson.
We missed the fans, and the 500 that were here were in great voice, but we're just disappointed that there wasn't more. Everybody comes to Boxing Day games, so it's disappointing for those that they couldn't attend, but hopefully in 3 weeks they're all back.
We're into the winter break right now, and as usual it's all hands on deck for me and Alan. We don't stop. The boys are away for a break, but the groundsmen doing what groundsmen do, it never stops for us. We're going into a mini renovation period.
How many bags was that?
I think we'd brought 8 out. Still 8 sitting in there. The plan is to clean up from the last game and get in and be a bit more aggressive, just try and scrape away some of the dead organic build-up and try and almost groom the pitch. It'll give us space to overseed the pitch. Put a top dressing of sand over as well. We'll probably put the undersoil heating on to aid with that, a wee bit of soil temperature. We then put our products on, put a bit of air into the pitch by spiking it, and then generally just put it to bed by germination covers. We'll create that humidity to hopefully get the seed to germinate. That's the plan. Whether we get that plan and we can fulfil that plan in the west of Scotland is a very different matter. We had a wee referee's inspection on I think it was St Mirren, and then I think a few days later we had Rangers in very similar conditions, and then more recently Dundee United at home, which was horrendous. The break's really crucial for us. Came at a really good time. Normally when you get 3 games in those conditions and get played in, really that's the downward spiral for your pitch. But we've actually come out of it quite well, I can't lie. You have to put your hand up and say, we've been lucky. We're lucky with the weather and lucky with the fixtures and the proximity of them. Bloody grass is soaking. We're probably into now about the second month where we get very little recovery or no growth at all. The plant almost goes into dormancy for a few months until it starts to peak its head up, hopefully maybe near the end of February if we're lucky in this country, but I've seen it as late as maybe getting into April. We're more maintaining the plant coverage that's in there already. We're damp, we're wet, the light levels are down. Once we get into the 22nd of January, which is our next game, we'll be the best part of 3 months with no growth. So every game that gets played is damaged, it doesn't recover. So it is really crucial that we ensure that the plant's really strong, that can take the play. Then it comes down to resource levels, and our counterparts down south, are setting the standard for everybody. We can't quite get that up in Scotland, and it is a money thing, but also sometimes it's an attitude thing. We quite haven't grasped the attitude of what they're doing down south in terms of the visual aspect of the games. I'm not trying to criticise anything in Scotland because we have a tough gig in terms of the money that we get into our football and our weather and our situation, but I think the one thing that we can change is the actual attitude to the surfaces that we play on. Support is absolute paramount. And I say that because I am a lucky individual at a club like Motherwell where I am supported fantastically well. Not only from guys like Alan Burrows, but I'm supported fantastically from the people that work at Motherwell who understand my own passion about the pitch. So what I mean by that is people understand that the pitch is not there as a path to cut across to get to the shortest point that they need to go to. There's a great respect that I have from all the staff at Motherwell in regards to the pitch, and I know possibly some of my colleagues don't have that at other clubs. I'm very lucky I have that here. Just go and get petrol for it. We've had a real change in the thought process about our equipment. We are really going down the battery operated route to reduce pollution, costs of fuel, noise pollution. It allows us to do certain things in the morning where we previously couldn't do because we have houses nearby. And I think just the general welfare of the groundsman. It's a physical job, as everybody knows, with the lack of hand-on vibration off these machines and the quietness of them and just the smoothness of them to operate. I think that's the way forward for us. I don't think it's ever easier for groundsmen, I have to say. The games still get played and they'll come thick and fast as we generally come out of the winter break. The fixtures get condensed a wee bit. So once again, it's the luck of the weather. And the prep work that we do now will hopefully see us through to the end of the season.
Oh, what a day.
I'm your caddy.
Got my caddy. It's a perfect day for it now. That's what dreams are made of, lad.
Look at this set.
Spoiled.
I'm glad I came then.
Huh?
Are you a lefty?
Nah, I'm a lefty, but I've got right-handed clubs.
I was going to say,
so I'm cack-handed. So it's like...
So you've got left-handed clubs, I'm just keeping watching.
It's the worst swing you ever see, but it's all about enjoying it.
Aye, sure. You know what I mean?
When I speak to people, it's like got quite a laid-back demeanour about you and stuff like that, but believe it or not, there's much more to me. Oh, that's the one. Yes! So I was born in Vegberg in Germany. Mum and Dad were in the army. My mum was in the intelligence corps. My dad done quite a few tours, Bosnia, Kosovo, Iraq, Falklands. From what I remember, it was amazing. I used to love it there. My brother was obviously in school at that point. I was just going to the local kindergarten. From as long as I can remember, really, I think my mum would say the same, that I was always obsessed with football. She's got videos of me when I was really young, playing in the garden in the snow. My brother's trying to batter me with snowballs and stuff like that, but I wasn't interested. I was just worrying about where the football was and stuff like that. And then even if it was outside playing or even indoors, trying to make up whatever game I could with a football. Then we moved back over to England, and then I joined Exeter. I think I was about 8 at the time. Loved my time there. It's a great football club, and I think it shows in the past as well what they've done for young players. I think it's a really good team to step forward with your career as a young player. I found out about Man U wanting me to go up for a trial, which was massive for me, being a Man U fan growing up, my dad being a Man U fan, but I'm sure it hurt my mum a bit, being a Liverpool fan and a season ticket holder when she was younger as well.
Oh, wow!
Who wears red ones?
Beckham! Can I wear these for football now?
They said to me they wanted me to go to a tournament the week after, which was in Amsterdam, and I had to get my school to sign me off. Being a young lad in just living in Exeter, none of my teachers really believed me when I said I needed to be signed off to go on trial at Man United, so luckily my mum said I was going anyway. Grimmy was there. I'll never forget, we actually played the final. We went to penalties. There was a lot of ultras there, flares going off, fireworks, and Grimmy slotted his penalty home and just gave him some straight after it as well, which was brilliant. So yeah, he helped me massively settling in up there. I think it was only really after I signed I realised how big of a deal it actually was. Obviously, you're going around the training ground seeing the likes of Sir Alex Ferguson, Wayne Rooney. As weird as it sounds, I just remember looking at him and thinking like, oh, he's actually just a normal person.
What a moment this is for Sean Goss. Signed just a few years ago from Exeter City. He runs onto the field to play for Manchester United against Paris Saint-Germain.
When you're in the reserves, I think that's when it starts to kick in. You get opportunities to train with them. Some of the boys will come and train with you. When I was injured, I was doing my rehab at the same time as Scholes because we were getting back at similar times, and even just doing a one-on-one session with him, like to see his ability and stuff like that was incredible. Like the things you can learn off them players, it was an honour really. And when we went into the reserves, we had Carrick play with us, Schweinsteiger play with us, and same again, the stuff you can learn from him was like unbelievable. I was getting opportunities with the first team, going away in the pre-season and playing there, and then being on the bench for them and travelling squads for Champions League and stuff like that. And then Mourinho came in, I felt like I wasn't really getting any opportunities, so I felt that was a perfect time for me personally to move forward and look for first team football. Oh, that's nice, Baz.
I'm done. That's me today. Can you rent your clubs at chocolate?
I didn't understand that.
You are?
I didn't understand that.
Subtitles and this?
Yeah, subtitles. I need serious subtitles when Baz is about. In 2019, I was diagnosed with eosinophilic esophagitis. It's basically like the esophagus swelling up. So I was having quite a lot of trouble with it. Obviously being in hospital, some nights having to go to the hospital on my own. I was speaking to doctors and stuff like that, and we couldn't really get to the bottom of it. And it was only when I was actually in the doctor's office at QPR, he gave me a paracetamol, and I cracked it in half and tried taking that, and I ended up choking on it. So I think that was the main highlight point there, that something needed to change and we needed to look into it a bit more. It's only looking back I didn't realise how much it affected me training, like no energy and stuff like that. As a footballer as well, the main thing is recovering, eating well and stuff like that, and then when that gets taken out, I feel like I was getting little injuries here and there that I wouldn't be getting before. When I got diagnosed with it, it was a big weight off my shoulders really, because for a long time I was thinking something wasn't right, but I didn't have an answer for it, and then I ended up getting on medication and then having a op in the summer and a dilation to spread my esophagus, and thankfully now I'm in remission. Right, you're up first, lad. Yeah, the island. I feel like I've definitely turned a corner in my career now. I think that was obviously an off the field incident, but it was clearly affecting me on the field as well. I feel obviously fitter and stronger now, and coming in, settling in. I've just got my place a few weeks ago as well, and I think now's definitely a time to kick on. I've loved it here. International football is one of the main things as well I'd love to get involved with. My granddad and grandma were born in Belfast, so I've spoke to Northern Ireland before, and it's definitely something I'd like to get involved with again. It's about time I got some goals in my game as well, because it's been too long. I need to get the cobwebs off with that one. Now is obviously a perfect time for me to kick on with my football now. I've grown up, I know the game a lot better, and I think it's definitely a time for me to kick on.